All right, so the question is, just to boil it down, is what's the neurobiology of social behaviors? Is it an oversimplification or, oh.
Attachment.
Oh, and attachment. Yes. All right, well, we know that there are, the brain's amazing because you have this kind of common architecture, which then gets adapted for different purposes. So we know that there's this midline structure near the center of the brain, the anterior cingulate, which is involved in a lot of error detection. And there's actually a bit of a gradient. So if you start toward the back of the brain, it's involved in like calculations and just detecting errors in your environment. And then as you go further, you get more into like self-made errors. Like if you're typing in your password on a computer and you mess it up and you can't get your email, then you as your fingers are moving, you made a mistake before you push enter, and then it's like, oh shit, you have to do it again. And then as you go further forward, you get more into like social processing. So there's many different tasks. There's tasks where there's one kind of neat task called hyperball, where you're in a scanner and you can do this on a computer program. You see two computer players passing a ball back and forth, and sometimes they throw the ball to you. When you get the ball, you get to choose who you throw the ball to, and you can bounce this ball back and forth. And then as the experiment goes on, the two computer people stop passing you the ball. And then you just watch this ball going back and forth, and then people get really upset at that. And then you get this even more frontal region, which is involved in like social processing. So yes, I mean, I would argue that the brain has there are distinct networks for different functions, motor, language, what have you. But then they're all adapted for different environments. In this case, social processing being integrated into existing systems.
Linda.
The interesting thing about that network, just to get back to the unique characteristics of the human brain, it's not necessarily unique to the human brain, but that network of the anterior cingulate and the frontoinsular cortex and the anterior insula has a collection of neurons that are only seen in highly social animals. They're called the von Economo neurons. And so that's one of those adaptations that probably occurred because we have such a prolonged developmental period of our brain. So, because those are among the last neurons to develop.